Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to tell you guys about your relationship styles. If you're not aware about that, if you feel you have certain problems which keep on coming again and again and again, that's because you fall into a certain relationship type. And you need to be aware about that for you to do something about it. Also in this video, we're going to talk about why that relationship style even exists. So before we delay, let's begin the video. Welcome back, boys. So, talking about your relationship styles. So, firstly, there are going to be a couple of relationship styles, alright? So, usually, people are going to be falling into one of the two relationship styles. The first one is going to be either you're going to be love avoidant. So, when someone's love avoidant, what happens is you want to talk to someone, you want to be with someone, but suddenly when things start to get more intimate, things start to get a bit serious, you want to pull back. Like you feel like, yaar, yahan pe main phas jaunga. My freedom is going to be curbed out here. I'm going to get engulfed. There's a fear of engulfment out there. And you sort of pull back and you avoid all things about intimacy. You have certain beliefs that needs are for the weak. I am a strong, independent man. I'm a strong, independent woman. So I don't have needs. I don't need needs. I can take care of myself. I've done enough for myself. I've got these huge guns out here. मैं gym जाता हूँ. मैं ये चीजें करता हूँ. And इसलिए I don't need needs. I don't need love. I don't need intimacy. That's for the weak. That's for pussies. That's what you might be feeling. But deep down, you know you're lonely. Deep down, you know you want someone. But anytime you get into a relationship or anytime you start seeing someone, in the starting, it's fine. But later on, there's a fear of engulfment, a fear of intimacy. You have commitment issues and you sort of pull back. Now, once you pull back, after some time, the fear of abandonment kicks in. You feel the other person is going to move on और वो तुम्हें छोड़ देगा. और now you suddenly feel कि shit यार, क्यों ही break up कर लिया? Why did I leave? Why did I ghost that person? I should go back. उससे वापस बात करते हैं यार. And then you go back again. If the person takes you back again, as things start to get serious, you pull back again. You go back again, you pull back again. And this cycle repeats itself again and again and again and again and again. You want something, but as soon as you're there, as soon as you're getting it, fear kicks in, you want to run away. When you run away, fear kicks in again, you want to go back. It's called what? Love avoidant. Another thing, as we call a love addict. The love addict cycle is when, you feel that love is the only thing which is going to complete you. You just want a partner. And it's a very codependent thing where you feel like I need a partner, I need a girlfriend, I need a boyfriend, only then my life is going to be amazing. So you want to go for that partner, you want to talk to that partner, and as in when you start maybe seeing someone, you meet someone, there your insecure self starts to come out. You feel that the other person is not giving you more time, you feel there must be something wrong, you start to doubt, you start to have all these crazy thoughts going on in the head. Is he cheating on me? Is he gonna cheat on me? What is gonna happen? And what you do is you subconsciously start to get a little bit needy and more codependent and more desperate, and you want to tie the other person down. You want to keep him there with you. You don't want to let that person go. And more your insecurities shine through, and more you literally try to lock that other person down. But because of the fact that you cannot just accept love and you cannot just be secure, the other person builds resentment towards you and leaves because you do not understand your boundaries and you get into his space. You don't give him space. You don't allow him to live his life. And when that person leaves, you again might get into another relationship with someone else. You might seek out another partner and the same pattern is going to happen. So basically people are going to fall into either the love addict category or the love avoidant category, alright? And when that person leaves, you tell yourself that, see, I knew that person's going to leave and I was right to be jealous, to be insecure, to see these things because these people are always going to leave. There's always going to be something or the other wrong. Or, the person might have cheated on you and you feel, see, every time this is what happens. And the next time you go into a relationship, you still are on the same patterns, the same behavior, which leads the other person to resent you and to leave you again. And this becomes a pattern in your life. So usually people are going to fall into either the love avoidant category or the love addict category. So if you can relate to any of those categories, all right, if you can relate to those things, maybe in the past, maybe now, maybe in a past relationship, and you can relate to those things not only with your partner, but with your friends as well, with intimacy. Like either you want to keep people down there with you or you want to just push people away as soon as things get serious. You don't want to be intimate with them. At the same time, you might be in a combination of the two things as well. Now, usually a love addict is going to fit in very nicely with a love avoidant person, all right, but it's going to be a very dysfunctional relationship. The avoidant will be fine with intimacy in the start, but as soon as he feels the fear of engulfment, the other person sort of like engulf him, her insecurities, his fear of intimacy, that makes him pull out. He goes away. This person chases, he goes away. When this person gives up, then he comes back. When he comes back, the person is all right, fine, come back, grabs again, fear of engulfment, goes away. Chases, waits for him, again gets disillusioned, maybe does the same thing with the same partner, or goes again into a new relationship to repeat the same cycle. That's what both of these people do. Either they do it with the same person or do it with other people. At the same time, the love avoidant is more likely to be more lonely. He would want intimacy, he would want all those things, he would want to feel love, but he'll be more lonely because he's not going to actively seek them out. He has a fear of intimacy. At the same time, anybody who's a love avoidant will get into a relationship under a pretext of seduction, under a pretext of sex. Alright, it's not going to be that I want to commit to you, but it's because some sexual needs are being met. And if you can understand these things, if you can relate to any of them, realize those are your patterns which are going to repeat till the time you don't do something about it. And there's a very important reason why these exist, why people fall into these categories, and that has a lot to do with our attachment styles, that has a lot to do with our childhood and the way our attachment was with our parents. And this is clear psychology we're talking about. This was the research done by Bowlby in 1969 and then 1982, and then multiple subsequent research has been done to prove the same. What happens is, in a childhood, there's this thing called a secure attachment. A secure attachment is basically living in like a perfect environment, in a perfect world. In a perfect environment, what's going to happen is a child is going to have needs. The parents are going to meet his needs, give him enough love, give him enough safety, enough care, encourage him, take care of him, help him build his self-esteem, be on his side, talk to him through love. But that's not what's the case every time. What really happens is, if one of the parent is absent, alright, or if one of the parent is more rejecting and withdrawn, let's say as a child, you go up to your father or your mother and you want to play with your father, or you want some love from your mother. And if the parents are like, no, go away, I don't want this, because they haven't come to terms with their own needs. There was no one to meet their needs, so now there's no one to meet your needs. So when that happens, it leads us to believe that anytime I go and get my needs met, I will gonna be faced with rejection, there's gonna be pain, so why even bother? And I'm a strong guy, there's no one for me, I'm gonna take care of myself, and I don't have needs. And we fall into the love avoidant category. Then again, at some point, if the parent is inconsistent, sometimes the parent is really withdrawn, not meeting your needs, and sometimes they're very intrusive. They don't know where your boundaries are, and they go overboard to share their problems with you. Like in the first category, when your needs are not being met, there may be neglect happening or abandonment happening, or whenever you have needs, you're being told that you're not supposed to have needs are bad, and you've been not even allowed to cry. But in this case, where you go up to your parents, where your boundaries are not clear, what happens is, your parents are either withdrawn at times, or either they're overtly onto you, they don't know where the boundaries are, and they meet their needs from you. Like, let's say the mother is in a bad mood, she has had a fight with the father, she would come up to you, she'd share her stuff with you, and you get burdened, you get overburdened, because now you feel guilty because your mother is sharing stuff with you. In this type of parenting, the ambivalent kind of parenting, what happens is, you don't know when you're going to receive the love, when your parent is going to withdraw, when your parent is going to scold you, or when your parent is going to cross the boundaries and be there for you like too much, not understand where the boundaries are. And which is why when a person like this grows up, they don't understand where the boundaries are of the other person as well. Like, we don't know the boundaries दूसरों की क्या है, because हमारी खुद की boundaries तो किसी ने कभी respect करी नहीं. So when this person grows up and becomes a love addict, anytime this person is in a relationship, they can't understand boundaries कहाँ हैं, and they're always out there trying to get that love, and if it's inconsistent, it drives them even mad and drives them to work even more hard. The core belief being कि अगर मैं कुछ नहीं करूँगा, if I don't do something about it, I will not get the love. So I need to exaggerate my needs, I need to create drama, I need to do something or the other to meet that need. And the fear of abandonment is high in both the cases. But when someone's a love avoidant, the fear of abandonment is high, and they project a reality that I'm a strong person, so that I don't get intimacy again, and they project that they don't have needs. The other person feels my needs will not be met till the time I go after it. And in the end, both of them suffer a very difficult fate till the time something is done to counteract these relationship styles and that childhood upbringing. In general, for you to get over that, you'll have to go back in time. You'll have to work on the subconscious mind. Your subconscious anchors जिसने ये internal working model बना दिया है that if I don't do something, if I don't bring in drama, love is not going to be there. Or the feeling that love is bad. I always get hurt whenever I'm in love. People always cheat on me. People will always leave me. So why even bother? I don't want to have needs. So if these beliefs are there, these beliefs need to be counteracted by certain processes. Not just listening to a video, not just talking to me like this, alright? Not just hearing content. Things need to be done. There are proper processes in place which I help people out with, and only then can we move ahead, can we let go of these anchors, these core beliefs, these subconscious beliefs, these limiting beliefs which are limiting us and not letting us live our life properly, and not letting us have the ideal relationship, which is the third type of relationship, which leads from the third type of attachment while we're growing up. So what I just mentioned was insecure. attachment styles, all right? Insecure parenting, insecure conditioning. So there's a secure conditioning where in an idealistic world, our parents meet all of our needs, are there for us, give us the love, help us build amazing self-esteem, help us create an internal working model that whenever we reach out for love, they're always there, they're consistent, they love us, they don't use silent disgust, they don't push us away, they don't tell us that you're a bad person, but they're always there for us. And there's no conditional love, nothing. It's all unconditional love. Your needs are being met. And once that happens, we start to believe that yes, my needs are being met, and when I go out there, I can be in a relationship with someone else and my needs will be met. And because our needs are met in childhood, it does not leave a wound or a void while we're growing up. There is no pain behind it. These beliefs from a fear-based mindset that I don't need love, I don't need intimacy, I don't have needs, that doesn't exist. We understand we're human beings, we have needs, and when we grow up, we can have a partner and we can communicate those needs and those needs will be met. And that amazing relationships comes from a secure childhood. But most of us are not there. Parenting in and of itself amazing nahi ho pati hai kitna bhi koi bhi koshish kare. Like, it's not the fault of the parents. They did what they were taught. They were acting through their own subconscious anchors, their own subconscious beliefs. But for us to have an amazing relationship, we need to work on these things and to be sure that we don't pass it on aage jaake dusre logon ko. At the same time, the person that we're dating, we're in a great relationship with them. All right. So what I want you guys to do is, firstly, comment below if you could relate to any of the stuff out here, and let me know what relationship style is yours and what upbringing style is yours. Are you more love avoidant or are you more love addict? And could you relate with all of these things or not? That being said, guys, that's all from my side. I will see you guys again in the next video. Till then, make sure you hit the subscribe button, you spank it, smash it, demolish it. This is Kshitij signing off. Peace, boys.